Welcome. Many people suffer from pain and go to doctors for examinations, medications, and painkillers. As soon as they finish these medications and painkillers, the pain returns. This pain becomes chronic, and they don't know the reason for it. Even when they go to the doctor and ask, "Doctor, why does my pain return as soon as I stop the medication?" the doctor tells them it's something minor and to just continue with the prescribed treatment. Most medications are painkillers, and the patient often doesn't know the cause of their pain. In today's episode, we'll look at an explanation for this issue coming from the University of Georgia in the United States and published last February. But we'll see that after the break, so stay with us. Welcome back. We'll be looking at a fascinating study from the University of Georgia's School of Aging Studies. This study was published last February and funded by the National Institute of Mental Health. 3 scientists at the University of Georgia conducted research and published it in a journal called Stress and Health, which focuses on psychological stress and its relationship to health. What did they find? They found that financial stress is linked to excruciating pain that has no explanation or cure. What did these researchers do? They went to Iowa, specifically to 8 agricultural counties. In Iowa and across America in general, between 1991 and 1994, approximately 27 to 30 years ago, there was a significant drop in the prices of vegetables and other crops for farmers. This led to financial hardship for families in those areas. They sought out these families and managed to gather 508 households that met the research criteria. The criteria were, first, the household had to be a married couple, married for at least 27 years, and second, they had to be in their early 30s, between 30 and 35 years old, at the time of the crisis. Their marriage had to have lasted for at least 27 years. Some of them had been married for over 45 years. They are now at least 65 years old, meaning they are 65 and older. They brought in people who had experienced severe financial crises in the late 1980s and early 1990s. They observed their complaints and found that more than 2/3 complained of excruciating pain that could only be relieved with painkillers. Some also complained of Alzheimer's disease, and others complained of loneliness and social isolation. A very large percentage of them suffered from unexplained pain. The explanation lies in the severe financial crisis that lasted for a very long period, almost the entire 1990s. The crisis itself occurred within 3 years, but its financial effects persisted until they underwent the work to recover and pay off their debts. This process took them about 10 years of financial hardship before they recovered from the crisis. This research proves, with conclusive evidence, statistics, and calculations, that there is a direct link. I'll put the link to the research below for those who want the details. Those specializing in mental illnesses, the resulting neurological pain, and these kinds of pressures can refer to it and see the topic in detail. We just want to point out here that people who experience a lot of pain, especially in their later years, those who have been hardworking their whole lives, or women who often find themselves in pain and suffering after the age of 60, are likely experiencing this. This is due to the hardship and financial pressures they endured during their youth. If Americans experience financial pressures only once in 1991 to 1994, we in our world suffer from hundreds of cases of financial pressure, and these are much more severe and intense because there are limited resources to intervene and help these people. Consequently, the impact of financial pressures is much stronger, more severe, and more widespread. They only found 508 families in 8 counties in Iowa who met these criteria. Here we would find much larger numbers. This excruciating pain only goes away with painkillers. We need to pay attention to research like this. Its effects last 27 to 30 years. And now let's go back to the people, at least what happened with the elderly, and consider middle-aged husbands and wives who are under significant financial pressure today. We must pay attention to these people and try to alleviate their financial pressures and suffering in one way or another. It has been discovered that this has long-term effects that aren't immediately apparent. Financial pressures immediately affect purchasing power, but what else do they do? The reason for this impact of financial crises is a loss of control, the inability to manage or control the situation. For example, someone might be under financial pressure in a certain area, unable to buy necessities, unable to educate their children, unable to pay expenses, or unable to fulfill responsibilities. This is translated as a loss of control. This loss of control leads to psychological pain. This psychological pain can extend beyond the immediate period and, in old age, lead to physical pain that can only be treated with painkillers. May God protect us all from all harm. Until next time, peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you.